Good evening everybody and welcome back to my channel. This evening I'm going to show you how to make a very easy and a very quick chicken curry. If you look in the pot, you'll see there are 2 tablespoons of oil in there, and to that oil I'm going to add my whole spices. So in this plate I have 4 cardamom pods, I have a cinnamon stick, I would have used more bay leaves but I'm out, so I would have used about 3 or 4 bay leaves. I have 1 star anise seed, I've got 3 naaltjies are cloves, I've got 3 cloves. That is a flat teaspoon of barishap, that is or fennel, that's a flat teaspoon of coriander seeds, and that is a heaped teaspoon of jeera or cumin. So I'm going to put that into the oil. So if you are missing any of these ingredients, it's not a big deal, just leave it out. Whatever you have goes in, whatever you don't worry about. Now my oil is bubbling, and to that I'm going to add 1 chopped onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and as much ginger as there is garlic. I'm adding 2 chilies, a red chili and a green chili with the seeds removed. If you would like a hot curry, then don't remove the seeds. And then I'm adding a small green pepper. Actually, this is half a big green pepper. I'm going to leave this to get brown, and that will take about 5 minutes. Just a few things about the spices. I chopped up the garlic and ginger because my garlic and ginger was very fresh. But if you're going to grate it, or if you're going to use garlic and ginger that has been grated before and just out of a tub, then don't put it in so early or it will burn. People often ask me why I put cloves into chicken curry. If the meat tastes slightly wild, any meat, then cloves balances that out. The other thing I've been asked is why I put stick cinnamon in. It's because my mother put stick cinnamon in, and so I put stick cinnamon in. Okay, so let's look how our onions look. Okay, so they are lovely, they're nice and brown. Next I'm going to add my masalas. So what I have here is I've got 1.5 tablespoons of a very fragrant fish masala. I've got a slightly heaped teaspoon of turmeric and a slightly more heaped teaspoon of garam masala. And I'm just going to put that in the pot so that the spices can heat up a little bit, just for a minute or so. I don't want the spices to burn, so I'm going to add tomato. This is 1 whole tomato that I just chopped up, and I'm going to add that to the spices. The tomato adds some moisture, but it's not enough. As you can see, the spices are sticking to the bottom, so I will add a little bit of boiling water. Maybe a little bit more. So about masalas, there are no right or wrong masalas. If you don't want to use a masala, you can use the curry powder. You don't have to use the garam masala. You can use only 1 masala if you want. I don't usually use turmeric in curry, but chicken curry needs to be yellow, so I've got turmeric for that. You can use any masala you want. There really is no rule. If you're not sure, just buy a leaf masala or buy an 11-in-1 masala, or start with the curry, and at this point just throw in whatever you have and you can adjust it from there. Okay, let's continue. So my spices have cooked dry. So now I'll add my chicken and my potatoes all at once. Now, this is chicken breast that I've taken off the bone, and I've just cut it into little pieces like that. But I've left the bones in there. And the reason I'm leaving the bone in there is because the bones add flavor. So I'm going to cook it with the bones. I've left all 3 bones in. I'm going to cook it with the bones just for the flavor. I don't know why you would throw the bones away, because people cook stock with bones like these. And because I've cut the chicken into such small pieces, I'm going to add the potatoes with it at the same time. You'll see the potatoes are not very big either, so they're going to go in all together. 650 grams of chicken. I weighed it without the bones after I'd cleaned it, and to that I'm going to add 600 grams of potato. I'm going to season this immediately. So I'm going to start with my favorite, it's aromat. but I'm taking it out of here so I can show you how much I'm going to use. A heaped teaspoon of aromat. I'm just going to guess pepper. So probably I'm going to do about half a teaspoon of salt to start out with. And then I'll do 1-2 teaspoons of sugar. Let's have a look. So this is fairly dry, but I'm going to add a little bit of water, not much, and then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to add a little bit more water. And I'm going to let it simmer slowly for about 20 minutes, and then we'll see in 20 minutes time what it's done. So it's been about 20 minutes. I did not leave the pot closed for 20 minutes. I probably opened it up 4 or 5 times. I'm very scared that things will burn. I also added another teaspoon of salt in the meantime. So there's a teaspoon and a half of salt in there, and it is seasoned properly. So it's probably about 22 minutes now. And if you want to check if it's done, check if the potatoes are soft. Once the potatoes are soft, your curry is done. Now, you'll see I've got a thick sauce and there's not too much sauce. So I'm going to put this off. If you see that your curry is a bit too thin or too watery, you can thicken it with a teaspoon of maizena or a teaspoon of flour mixed into cold water and then poured into your curry just to thicken it. But yeah, when the potatoes are done, the curry is done because the chicken is such small pieces. Now, if you look back at the pot again, you'll see I have quite a lot of potatoes. That's just personal preference. When we were kids, my mother always said she couldn't afford lots of meat. And so she gave us a lot of potatoes, and that stuck with me. Now, all that's left to do is to add some fresh coriander. Now, if you look at my coriander, you can see that's not fresh. What I do is when I buy coriander, I can't use it all at once. So I clean it and I chop it up and I freeze it. So this is out of my freezer. I've stirred in the coriander. You can see I've left the carcass, it's still in there. And when I dish, I just won't dish the carcass with that. So that's it. A very, very quick and easy chicken curry. If you enjoyed the recipe, please like it. And if you enjoyed my other recipes, please subscribe to my channel. My name is Jeremy, and I'll see you next week again.